Well guys, I believe today is the day we're going to work on the old Toyota 4runner, just a little bit more. So let's take a look and I'll show you what the plan is. Is that how we're going to do it? Okay, awkward. Okay, so here's the plan. We're going to dip on in here. I'll be entirely honest with you. I've been working on this thing and I haven't quite been sharing everything with you guys. So got new floor mats, obviously, got a center console for this. I have not mounted this. So this is actually a center console out of a second gen Toyota 4runner. I got a Dragon Ball shift knob for it, because Dragon Ball Z is awesome. But that's not what I want to talk about today, or at least take care of. So this dashboard, you can see this interior is coming along nicely. And this dashboard is actually kind of letting this thing down. Another thing too is I got the altimeter slash yaw and pitch gauge cluster to go up here. The version that I got will not work for this dashboard, so I need a different dashboard to make that work. So let's show you what I got here in just a second. So here's what I got. I got this dashboard off of eBay, and you're probably going, yeah, that sucker is brown and it's still cracked. And yeah, it's cracked, it's old, it's busted up, seen better days, but it did have all the recesses for altimeter, which I got. You can see all of that lines up with all that, which is great. It's actually pretty nice altimeter. It's in great shape considering. Old 4runner altimeter, you can tell because it's got the light on and off. Pretty sweet. So here's the plan. I got some vinyl fabric spray. You know, we're gonna spray this up to make it match. And I got one more thing to really help this thing out look sweet. Brand new dash capper. This was $40 off eBay. I got this dashboard for after shipping right around 100. So into it for about 140. Altimeter, I found a local deal on this. This was about 200 locally. These usually go for a ton of money on eBay. Same with clean dashboards, so I opted to get one that's not so clean, and we're just going to clean it on up and make it look nice. Typically, if you find a good non-cracked dashboard on eBay, they can run upwards of $600. So this is more to bargain basement value. With all this stuff combined, I will not be over $600, and I'll have a sweet dash in the old 4runner. So let's get to work. I need to start pulling out the dash out of the old 4runner. Well, yeah, I need to pull out the old dash. So we're gonna hop in there and start pulling things apart, and hopefully we can get this to work. Well, just learned something new that I could not have foreseen. So these vents here, I believe these will work with my new dash. This side, there's two different style vents. So there's a long vent that wraps around over here, whereas this has got this little bit of lip bugger in it. Gotta have that installed prior to installing the dash cap. The problem with this is in order to install altimeter, I gotta have a dash cap over this, but in order to have a dash cap over this, I gotta have the vent in. And the problem with that is there's a 10mm bolt right there. So that creates a circle of pain. But yeah, I'm gonna get online and see if I can find one of these vents for this dashboard. I'm kind of test fitting things. So these two vents are good. They fit great. This guy over here not so well, so I need to locate one of these vents. The stash capper fits on here pretty well. I'm going to have to use some clamps to hold it down when I glue it, but I think for now I'm going to go ahead, paint this thing, paint around the edges here, like this brown stuff. We're going to paint over that, get that cleaned up, get these ready to go. Obviously this one I'm not using, but these two, get them cleaned up as well. Maybe hit them with some paint. I don't like the idea of using vinyl paint on a object that you're going to interact with a lot, because it will rub off after a while and kind of look jank. So let's go ahead, paint the topper, paint the bottom, pop those out, clean them very well, and then maybe I'll go ahead and get the holes drilled so we can attach air altimeter / yaw and pitch. Yeah, it should work out pretty good. Back to the good old spray painting tree here. Hopefully that does not blow off. Alright, this is looking pretty good after getting some paint on there. You can see it matches altimeter. Very nice. There we go. That might be a little bit darker. You know, I think this has been reconditioned at some point. I could be wrong about that. Anyhow, so I don't know what I'm going to do about the vent over here. Still haven't decided. I'm probably going to have to look for one, so it's going to take me a little while. So I think probably the best way to do this is, traditionally you're supposed to glue these down. I think what I'm going to do is actually get the holes drilled and actually use the altimeter to secure it to the dashboard. Well, no going back now. Get that right on the edge there. Right about there. Get rid of all that. Didn't scratch it up too bad. Looking pretty nice. Get our altimeter. See if it's going to do the trick for us. You can see it covers up a lot around here, so should fit over it pretty good and hide everything, even the scars. I'm actually a little bit curious. I haven't even checked yet the cables that come out of this. So it plugs into this wiring harness here. I'm curious if it exists on the factory wiring harness or if I've got to wire in my own stuff. I'm gonna find out here in a few, but for now, let's just see. Nope, needs to go over a bit. Just go extra large on these holes. All right, that's looking pretty good. Money. Okay, just a little bit messy, but we can work with that. That's fine. What I want to see is the final product here. The fruit of my labor. Clip this all together. Lock it on in. Be really careful so you don't crack it. Alright, that's on. Not too bad. I wish the fitment down here was just a hair better, but you know, one can live with that. Okay, let's throw our altimeter on, shall we? Cool. Haven't heard any plastic crack yet, so I think we're off to a good start. So I'm just going through, I'm going to tighten these down evenly. You know, a little crisscross applesauce there. Okay, so you can tell with just a little bit of patience, you know, you work on something like this, take a little bit of time, try and make it better. The only problem we have is I just need the correct vent for this, but pretty nice looking dashboard, man. That's gonna look great in the old 4runner. And now we got the altimeter installed, so that's gonna look awfully sweet. Okay, so here I am a few days later with the old 4runner. Got the dash put in. So let's take a look and actually see. Oh, it's locked. Oops. We're just gonna. Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Well, here's where we're at with the dashboard. So still can't find a vent for this, so we're just gonna rock it as is. So this isn't really glued down, but the altimeter is holding in. But boy, what an improvement from what this was to begin with. Really ties it together. You can see I've been doing some wiring stuff in here. Just ignore that. But yeah, that really helps tie the interior of this thing together. I got my rear seats put back in. Got this all cleaned up. Got the whole back end bed lines. This is, so the wind will blow this thing up and I'm going down the freeway. So I need to figure out a practical solution for this, I'll be honest. But yeah, looking pretty stinking good if you ask me. Anyhow, until next time, you guys stay safe out there. Don't do anything I would do on the weekends. Keep it real. And remember, these dash cappers, you can get a pretty good looking dashboard for not a whole lot of money. I mean, if I had the dashboard to start with the altimeter, and I just wanted to fix the cracks, this 45 bucks plus a can of spray paint, 50 bucks to make your dash look that good. Come on, how can you beat it? Well, peace guys, stay safe. Yeah, I'm out.